Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning, YouTube. How are you guys? Happy Friday. Hey, Tracy and Potato. Shell. Hey, Shell. Hope you're doing good. Been thinking about you. Hey, Joel Berry.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. He does not know.
Hey, Amber. Happy Girl. Hey. Hey, Sherry Presson. Good to see you. Scott H. Scott H is in the house. It's early for Scott H. Listen, Linda.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Hey, Shemaiki. Ain't nobody got time for that. Good morning, Grandma Brooke and Terry. Hey. I guess. Hey, Laura Lou. Happy weekend eve. Yes, it's almost the weekend, bitches. Hold on, let me turn this light on. It's so dark in here. I do have all kinds of bits. I need more bits. If you have any ideas for bits, let me know. Hi, JJ. Good morning, JJ. What up, Damien? How are you? Kim Maple syrup. We've got maple syrup in the house. So we're going to start with, since Scott H is here, we're going to make him feel at home. Scott H, are you still in chat? Because we're about to make you feel at home here by reporting some Tennessee news. And as always, we do have puppy cam, doggy cam down below. Right now, you just see Summer Lou hanging out, looking out at the beautiful Florida day that we're about to have. It is not raining here. It is overcast, but it looks like it's clearing up. So that's good news, right? Scott H. Oh, painting services. Good morning, lovely and beautiful Jay. Thank you on this Friday morning for that, Steve. Always a confidence booster, Mr. Steve. Hey, okay. Ashley Oaks, what up? Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate you. So let's get to it, shall we? We're going to do some updates today. And our first update is going to make Scott H be like, yeah, I'm at home.
Creep town, dude.
All right, let's get this open here. Safari. Here we go. You're going to make some purse gift bags today? What is that? Oh, wow. Hills 65. Good afternoon from a cold, wet Ireland. I need like a Lucky Charms bit for my Irish people. Hi, Cheryl T. It's an overcast, rainy day here, so I'm looking forward to today's show. Hey, Judy Jennings. 40 hours straight. No siree. But we are going to go over some Tennessee news right now. This is pretty crazy stuff. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Over here. Okay. So you're going to have to listen to me read today. All right. We have Department of Justice, Tennessee inmate led prison gang and sold meth from behind bars. Greenville, Tennessee, a 6-day trial in the U.S. District Court at Greenville led a federal jury to convict Charles Alcia Jr.,
Creepy.
44, of conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine, marijuana, and money laundering. A release from the U.S. Department of Justice revealed Alcia is a longtime inmate of the Tennessee Department of Corrections, and he faces a maximum sentence of life in prison as prosecutors accuse him of leading a prison-based gang and drug organization. A 5-year investigation. 5 years, guys. that spanned the country, launched in the spring of 2017, and it alleged Alcia used smuggled cell phones, unbeknownst to the prison guards, the release noted, to drive the distribution of hundreds of pounds of meth across Tennessee. Alcia arranged multiple purchases of pounds of methamphetamine from California and Arizona to Tennessee, the release stated. Alcia and his co-conspirators also used the drug proceeds from the methamphetamine to create marijuana grow houses in and out of Tennessee. During the investigation, Alcia allegedly launched 2 marijuana grow operations by using the jail's video system to speak with co-conspirators regarding the plant's cultivation. He was doing all this from prison. In addition to the possible life sentence, Alcia also faces a 10-year minimum sentence and a term of supervised release after 5 years. Multiple agencies throughout the Department of Homeland Security, DEA, and USPS included the following: Tennessee Department of Correction, Office of Investigations and Conduct, Elizabethton and Carter County Joint Drug Task Force, Huron Undercover Narcotic Team with the Michigan State Police, Arkansas Highway Patrol, Missouri Western Interdiction Task Force with the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, and the California Visalia Police Department. The investigation is part of an organized crime drug enforcement task force's investigation. How many of these investigations are going on right now that we aren't aware of? Hey, Cher. We just started, but we're gonna have to take a break. We're gonna have to dance it out. Let's stretch it out.
Dance it out. Shut up, Cher. Shut up, Cher. Shut up, Cher.
There was a movie like this, wasn't it? Gerard Butler, I think. I don't know. A rather wet UK. Isn't it always raining in the UK? I mean, doesn't it just like perpetually stay cloudy there and like rainy? Because whenever the tourists from the UK come here, they're white as ghosts. They're like so pale and they get fried. You know, the English people that are on vacation in Florida. Right, Potato?
Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Moderators!
Mount up.
Samantha says, that's crazy. I'm in Kansas City and there was a huge bust like a day or two ago. Yeah, I think that that's how I think of Seattle too. I do. I feel of it all like gloomy and like always rainy. We are all anemic. We all need vitamin D for sure. Like I live in Florida and I went to the doctor like a year ago or something. They tested my vitamin D and it was super low. And the sun shines here. I think Orlando is like the sunniest place on the planet. I think the sun shines in Orlando like 350 some odd days a year. Good morning, Annette P. What part of Florida are you in? Hey, Holly Golightly. Yeah, and they say the doctor told me that you should get the liquid that you put under your tongue. I don't know. It gets in your system better, I guess. Berg Strong, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you. Colorado has 300 sunshine days per year. Cotton Candy Boobs. What's up?
Roberta.
Georgia says, lovely little voices and accents too. Their skin is ivory and the country is gorgeous like a fairy tale. I'm sure it is. I just need some sunshine in my life because like when I lived in Michigan and we would have like 6 months of cold ass winter. So that's how I felt about Michigan, Ashley.
Ashley, nobody said yikes, he hasn't come home, Ashley.
Yeah, I heard a doctor say more people should take vitamin D. They said it helps with moods too. It totally does. And you know, you can go to your doctor. They gave me injections at first to get my levels up, and then they told me to use the liquid drops. Lizzie Bones, Roberta. I am Joel, originally from Michigan. Hey, Valerie Hamilton. Well, I do know that the Brits are very, very beautiful people, very sweet, very kind. And that is my incognito potato.
That's correct.
Lori M. Hey, what up, Jay? Nice name, Jay. Sublingual drops. Thank you. Shell. Oh my gosh, look at this. Why is it not showing up? Shell, a member for 27 months.
Thank you so much.
I respect you.
Heathen 74. Which shirt did you get? So cute. Oten Gregory. Good morning from California in orange. You are a ride or die. You are. And that baby is gorgeous. See Shell's new grandbaby in her profile picture. Look at that sweet baby. All right, next story, y'all. Ready? We're going to dip into Ethan Crumbley here for a second. Speaking of Michigan, my home state of the mitten, we're going to listen to this video because prosecutor Karen McDonald, she says that she had to go to a very dark place to even investigate this case. And she's going to tell us a little bit about that. Don't Brits have bad teeth? Some of them do, but my potato doesn't. My potato is gorgeous. What are you talking about? I love that shirt. I love the back of that shirt. Everybody should have one of those shirts because I think we all want to say, what are you talking about? Lots of times during the day. All right, let's listen to Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald and see what she has to say about the Crumbley case and what it's done to her. And why she charged both parents, too.
I was up.
Because this is the first time ever we've ever seen parents charged in a school shooting. And by the way, I have an event up for the next hearing for the Crumbleys, the parents. They're going to be in court on the 15th.
This is really the first time that we've been able to sit down with prosecutor Karen McDonald and her team of prosecutors to really unpack this case from the beginning to where we stand now heading into trial. And as you said, Taryn, you got to keep in mind the context of all of this. It's the first time in the situation of a school shooting where not only was the alleged shooter charged, but his parents with manslaughter.
And speaking of the evidence, is there a couple of pieces of evidence that when you heard them just sort of haunted you? Was there any moments or things that you guys uncovered that made you feel that way?
Every single thing. Every single thing. There wasn't one thing that was less disturbing than the other.
The drawings, the journals, the text messages.
It requires immersing yourself in a dark place.
True.
And that, I think, is the real challenge.
Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald and her team building a case for trial against alleged Oxford school shooter Ethan Crumbley and his parents.
Sleep is hard, but just think how hard it is for these parents to sleep.
There hasn't been much rest since November 30th.
Around 12:51 today, we received a 911 call of an active shooter at the high school.
I just think about Tate, Hannah, Madison, and Justin. And I think about the kids who were shot at, the kids who were shot, the kids who were terrorized. Nothing else matters.
It's the so-called war room. McDonald and 4 prosecutors live and breathe the case, sharing the most sensitive,
we are giving out
details only among themselves that will soon come out in court in front of a jury.
So many times I would come home and be upset, visibly upset, just rattled, and I had, my husband saying, well, talk to me about it. And I'd say, it would be so unfair.
It's never been done before in a school shooting, charging parents James and Jennifer Crumbley of involuntary manslaughter. McDonald's background, first as a school teacher, then on to a law degree, practicing on the civil side in family law, then as a family court judge. That experience led her to ask the question, what about the parents right after the shooting happened? All that digital evidence later, equivalent to tens of millions of pages, she says her hunch was right.
The more we learn, the more disturbed we were.
Co-counsel Mark Keese says all of the signs were there.
It's even got the ATF youth handgun notice underneath it, which is just sickening when you look back on it.
He says they can prove Ethan Crumbley was disturbed, violence was inevitable, and his parents did nothing but buy him a gun.
The post by Jennifer Crumbley regarding just really bragging about this pre-Christmas gift she'd purchased for her son, and it was 4 days before he walked into a school and murdered 4 students and injured several others.
And this text message, when Jennifer Crumbley tells her son, don't do it, just minutes after the shooting, fast-tracked the team's decision to pursue manslaughter charges 3 days after the shooting.
I insisted on the timing, and it was because I just couldn't bear that one of those parents, after making arrangements to bury one of their kids and planning a funeral, now gets hit with the second blow, which is mom and dad could have prevented it.
Now a jury will decide.
How do you convince a jury that they're not just bad parents?
The elements are not difficult to prove. They're just, we don't charge that very often. Because we don't have this set of facts.
At the same time, Ethan Crumbley's attorney pursuing an insanity plea in his defense, even though he had journals filled with violent entries, tortured animals, and had an obsession with school shootings.
The law says he's entitled to a forensic evaluation, and we are entitled to an independent forensic evaluation if we don't agree with that.
The team's focus will stay on the Crumbleys, and we learned any questioning of how school officials handled Ethan Crumbley the day of the shooting after finding a drawing that foreshadowed the massacre will not amount to any criminal charges.
There's going to be civil suits, and a lot of depositions will be taken, and that's for the civil lawyers to deal with, but it's not appropriate for criminal charges based on what I know now. I don't see it.
McDonald says 3 school officials in particular who were in that meeting with the Crumbleys hours before the shooting have been cooperative.
Absolutely, things should have gone differently, and all 3 of them, I think, will say that.
The implications of what happened at Oxford High School and its aftermath aren't even realized yet. But if McDonald and her team can convict the Crumbleys on manslaughter charges, it will set a precedent.
My only goal is to make sure they know that I am going to do everything possible to hold these 3 people accountable, and because their kids deserve that.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the school should face, like some of the school workers should also face charges, or just the parents and Ethan? Do you even think the parents should be? Do you think the parents should be tried? What are your thoughts? But yeah, she went to the target practice 4 days. So basically she went and practiced with her son for him to do this school shooting. Drive safe, potato. The school didn't buy the gun. The parents and the child, you guys Yeah, civilly they'll be held responsible. There's already 3. I think there's 3 civil suits against them already. And I think they have a lot to prosecute those parents. I mean, I've never seen evidence like that in a criminal or in a school shooting case against the parents ever. Like, we've never seen any evidence that a parent helped either willingly or not willingly. But I think that this is a good precedence to set, because maybe parents will keep a better eye on their troubled kids. Let me do a poll. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And then we're going to get into Magen Fieramusca, because we haven't had an update on her in forever. And she was in court yesterday. So we're going to look at that in a second. I'm going to pull up and do a poll. We're going to do a poll on the Crumbley case. See where you guys stand. So we're going to look at that in a second. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. Let me type it up. Magen Fieramusca, I will give you the backstory in just a second. This is going to be interesting because I'm giving you guys some. Yeah, she's big. Ethan Crumbley. Ethan and parents. Ethan, parents. Oops. And school. All right, I just put a dumb 4th answer. There you go. There's your poll. Hey, Jay is 5 justice. Absolutely, the parent should be tried. They knew their child had mental issues and ignored it and bought him a gun. Horrendous, Alexis says. I agree. I would never buy a weapon like a gun for a troubled 14-year-old boy. The school's responsibility was letting him go back to school, though the school thought he was a danger to himself, not others, right? They thought he was suicidal. But 71% of you so far, or 67 now, think Ethan and parents, 8% Ethan Crumbley, and 23% Ethan, parents, and school. So we'll leave that poll going while we move into our next story. And we'll see what you guys think of this whole Magen situation. Let's close that out. Hold on a second. Can you guys see the Magen stuff? No, hold on. What is not working for me? Hold on. So Magen Fieramusca is charged with kidnapping, murder, and tampering with a corpse, I believe, in the murder of her best friend. And in the course of the murder, she murdered her best friend, Heidi, and then took her baby. She lied to her boyfriend and said it was his kid and that she had the baby while he was away on work, away for work. So here we go. Let's make this bigger, and I'm actually going to make this full screen because there's a lot of pictures, and then there's also a video of the Zoom hearing. So hopefully Caressa is here, or Caressa will be able to see the replay. I don't know if she saw this yet. She was in chat yesterday. Okay, so Here we go. Full screen for you. Woman, 35, who is Megan, makes first appearance in court accused of strangling her best friend to death with a dog leash and stealing her 2-week-old baby.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors.
The woman accused of killing new mom, Heidi Broussard, in order to steal her infant baby has made her first appearance in court. Magen Fieramusca, 35, appeared via Zoom from the Travis County Jail in Austin Monday for a hearing on charges of capital murder, tampering with a corpse, and 2 counts of kidnapping. Her attorneys requested another month to work on the case, and the judge reset the hearing to April 28th, so yet another delay. The accused killer is being held on a $1.6 million bond. Fieramusca and Broussard had been friends for 2 decades after meeting at church camp as children. But in December of 2019, Fieramusca allegedly strangled Broussard to death with a dog leash in a brazen plot to take her 2-year-old baby Margot and pass the tot off as her own. Baby Margot was found safe and well at Fieramusca's home before she was reunited with her father, Shane Carey. And here is Heidi on the right with little Margot, and there is Megan on the left. Here is a photo of Megan on Zoom. Yeah. Is this an old article? Hang on. I'm thinking this is freaking old. Nope, updated. Oh, it is. That's from, oh, Jesus. All right, we're going to get out of that. I know you sent it, Shell. I'm going to have to pull that up. There is Megan again. Talk about a woman of many faces. I mean, it doesn't even look like the same person on the left. That's Megan. Yikes, Ashley.
Creep town, dude.
All right, let me pull up. I got to pull up my text. Thank you for sending that to me, Shell. I appreciate it. Okay.
Magen Fieramusca entered court Thursday wearing jailhouse clothing and said little during the day-long preliminary hearing. She's charged with the 2019 murder of her friend Heidi Broussard and for allegedly stealing Broussard's newborn baby, Margot. Several members of Broussard's family and friends were at the hearing in Austin but declined to comment. APD Sergeant Brad Harris spent much of the day being questioned about how investigators tracked Fieramusca to a house in Houston after identifying her as the prime suspect. Harris testified that authorities entered the home without a search warrant after showing Chris Green, Fieramusca's former boyfriend, a picture of baby Margot. That critical moment took place with Texas Ranger Christopher Rainwater, who spoke with Green. Rainwater testified Green said the picture looked like the baby in the house that he shared with Fieramusca. When officers made entry shortly after 1 o'clock December the 19th, they found Margot alive. They later discovered Heidi's body in the trunk of a car parked outside. A search warrant was not approved until around 8:30 later that evening. Because of the time difference, the admissibility of the evidence recovered is being challenged. Austin attorney Stephen Tolan, who is not involved in the case, talked to me about the defense tactic.
But as a general rule, right, we all like it and prefer when people follow the rules because the rules exist to make sure everyone's rights are protected.
Sergeant Harris testified they believe baby Margot had a medical condition called jaundice. He testified based on the information that he had, the situation could be life-threatening and was one of the reasons why they didn't wait for a search warrant.
And so in Texas, we have a myriad of warrantless exceptions to searches. And so it's going to depend on what's called the exigency of it. So certainly an emergency, right, a baby being in danger, that would be something the police would rely on as saying, hey, we didn't have time to wait for a warrant. We tried to start that process the emergency nature of it, the exigency of it. We had to run in there and look after this baby. The counter argument to that is, hey, there's a 24-hour magistrate, you started that process, and you'd want to, as a defense lawyer, attack the validity of how emergency, what were the exigency of that, or how ongoing was that emergency?
Magen Fieramusca and Heidi Broussard were lifelong friends and appeared to be pregnant at the same time. Investigators have raised questions as to whether or not Fieramusca faked her pregnancy. They have listed a motive for the kidnapping and murder on what profilers classified as maternal desire.
What?
That's Megan, her best friend.
Okay, so that is the update on Megan, but I'm going to play this for you guys. This is, if you guys aren't familiar with the case, Jay is for Justice podcast was on Dateline for this case because we had Heidi's best friend on a live when she was missing, and the case cracked while we were live. So it was pretty intense, but here is a news report about that live stream.
Charges were filed against Fieramusca today, but friends say they are shocked she's accused of having anything to do with it at all. Lauren Tallarico in Northwest Harris County tonight with that part of the story. Lauren?
Well, Len, last night before this whole thing started to unravel, one of her best friends, one of Heidi's best friends, was on a live podcast when she found out what was unraveling right here at Megan's home, and she couldn't believe it. Before the world knew, Heidi Broussard's life ended tragically.
This is Megan and Christopher here.
One of Heidi's best friends, Carissa Nolte, was a live guest on a podcast called Jay is for Justice.
I think they're just hopeful that she returns no matter what.
At the same time, information started rolling in about a search at a home on Bojack Drive. The hosts Googled the address.
There is a baby registry to the owners of that house. Megan, Humphrey, and Christopher Green have a baby registry.
Oh my God, that's Megan's house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What?
That's Megan, her best friend that met her at church camp with me.
Carissa says they all met 24 years ago in Columbus, Texas. Heidi stayed close to Megan, but Carissa just reconnected with her since Heidi went missing.
I've talked to Megan every day, all day. She's been like sick over this. She just had a baby and she's breastfeeding.
This girl Megan just had a baby?
Yes.
How long ago?
Her name's Luna. She's 15 days old, 16 days old. Her and Heidi are best friends. She was there in the room when Heidi had Margot.
Did you see her baby?
I haven't seen pictures of her.
But it's a girl?
Yes.
Megan for sure, had a baby.
She told us she went to a birthing center and had her baby.
Throughout the interview, Carissa says Megan told her she's a wedding planner in Houston and her baby's name is Luna May. Although Carissa never saw the baby, she did hear her over the phone.
I even told her she sounded sweet.
As far as Christopher Green, the man who owns this home, he hasn't been charged at this point, and apparently during that interview, Carissa told them that he was the baby's father, but of course still a lot in this investigation. Len?
Yeah, it's certainly a lot for police to work through tonight. Lauren, thank you.
Crazy, huh? Crazy stuff. Yeah, it was very, very intense. Yeah, it was totally crazy. I can't even describe how crazy it was. All right, hold on here. I'm going to end that poll. Yeah, they flew us to New York. It was super fun. It was like one of the best experiences I've ever had. They were very, very kind. And we've been waiting. This girl has been in court so many times. It's just delay after delay after delay. So it's nice to see that in April we're going to have a hearing. Hopefully, I don't see how it can be put off again. I mean, they've had so much time over COVID. Nothing happened in this case. I don't understand. Very frustrating for Heidi's family, I'm sure.
Cheapers.
Okay, let's move on to our next story. So let's talk about Chris Watts' case for a second. I don't want to give anyone PTSD, but I thought this was a new program that was released. And my good friend Kelly was in this program. So I was like, dude, why didn't you tell me you were a Hollywood star now? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I'm talking about the documentary on A&E. Well, it turns out that it's not new. It's actually an old stream that is being re-released. So we're going to play a little clip from this A&E. It's called, the name is rather disturbing as well. It's called Watts Family Murders, the All-American Family Buried with Love. And I was like, ugh, that's kind of a effed up title, man. But at any rate,
like I have no inclination to where they're at right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from. Like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
Police in Colorado have issued an alert for a pregnant mother and her 2 young daughters.
Had nothing to do with the act of like evil cruelty.
So you obviously are a really bad liar.
He is the sloppiest killer I've ever seen.
It looks like he's trying to cover his tracks.
Every time I close my eyes, I start to see her saying, Daddy, no, no.
So this is like a recap of everything we've already seen. The body cam. I can't play the whole thing because of copyright. But I do want to show my beautiful friend Kelly, who partook in this a couple years ago now. And she was like, holy crap, they're replaying it. So there's 10 episodes and you can watch it on A&E Facebook Watch only. And they're releasing a new episode every Sunday.
Family for 25 years. You know, I mean, when I first met him, he was really shy. He just kind of kept to himself. Was probably even a little girl scared, you know. Was more into school and sports. Wasn't really assertive. His personality was just very peaceful and calm and quiet. And Shanann was super outgoing. I think that opposites attracted.
I met Shanann as her 9th grade.
So then her 9th grade teacher is in this one. He was also on HLN back in the day. This guy, 9th grade teacher coming out of the woodwork.
And I think that was one of her superpowers.
I think that he really fell in love with her fast, and they both just connected. They were together for about a year before he proposed to her.
It was almost as if Chris was her saving grace.
He knew me at my worst, and he accepted me, and he stuck around because he was the one for me. And he is amazing. And I can't tell you.
I know. There's just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just a test.
That's awesome.
They were finally able to have the baby boy that they had always wanted. And Shanann decides she wants to name him Nico.
Guess when you want to, it happens.
I always thought everything was great and fine and wonderful. Nobody was aware that there was any marital problems.
So there you go. I'm going to actually put all the links to everything that we covered today will be in the description of this video when I get done with the stream. But this just came out on February the 22nd. And I think people think it's new, but it isn't. So I just wanted everybody to know that this is not something new, but it already has 134,000 views. And it says, take a look into the private lives of Chris and Shanann Watts, from their fairy tale romance to raising a family and the scandalous secret that would break apart their perfect marriage. So this is put on by Law and Crime Network, and then it's being played on A&E now. Buried with Love. Oh, 8-part. The Watts Family is an 8-part true crime docu-series that follows the Watts family and the shocking events that led one man to murder his pregnant wife and 2 daughters. So if you want to see that, I think it's on Facebook Watch and it's on YouTube. on A&E. They do have the episodes on there. I think they've only released 3 so far. So I just wanted to make everyone aware that that's not a new interview. It's not new information. It's totally just being replayed. Hey, Ad Rock. Hey, Susu. And I'm so sorry that that happened to you, Susu. Shell says, I'll pass on that one.
Let me have a little fun, would you please?
No, the one on Netflix is American Murder or something. American. Yeah, I think it's American Murder. Well, Susu, I'm glad you got out. I mean, that's the most important thing. What up, Cooter Brown?
My last name's Dirk.
Haven't seen Coot in a while. Yes, it's playtime for the puppies. Let's take a look at them. They're crazy as hell. They're like, it's Friday morning. Let's play. And again, I want to thank everybody who sent the doggies toys and treats. They freaking love them. They love them. So I'm going to add some more stuff, a little more variety to the Amazon wish list for the puppies. And they know when the boxes are for them. Like, they can smell them. You're remarried for 26 years and very happy. That's awesome. That's an awesome story. Cooter, you've been hiding from who? Who you hiding from, boy? All right, let's see what we've got next. Now that we've got Watts out of the way. Can you guys hear the dogs? They're so crazy. All right, here we go. We're going to talk about Sioux Falls. Let's move into this one. Hold on. Shell says she's all set with the Watts case. Okay, former Sioux Falls officer pleads not guilty to federal child pornography charges. Yikes. We're going to listen to this video as soon as this ad ends. Here we go.
Thank you, Sam. My name is Tom Woolman. I'm the Lincoln County State's Attorney. This morning, my office filed a criminal complaint against an individual by the name of Matthew Jock, J-O-C-K. The complaint alleges 5 counts of possession of child pornography. The complaint originates from an investigation that was conducted by the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation, ICAC unit. The ICAC unit here in South Dakota received a cyber tip from the from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That tip led them to Mr. Jock and his residence in southern Sioux Falls, Lincoln County. Ultimately, he was arrested yesterday afternoon without incident. These 5 charges are each Class 4 felonies, punishable by up to 10 years in the penitentiary for each of the counts, and or a $20,000 fine for each of the counts. The investigation was again conducted by the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation, the Internet Crimes Against Children Division. Mr. Jock will be making an appearance in front of a circuit court judge in Lincoln County this morning via ITV from the Minnehaha County Jail. Judge Rachel Rasmussen will be addressing bond, and future court dates will be given at that point in time. As I said, the bond has not been yet addressed, nor are the future court dates addressed. The defendant is presumed to be innocent of these charges until such time as he enters a change of plea and or is convicted at trial. The individual, Mr. Jock, is a former Sioux Falls police officer, and to address those concerns today with me are the Honorable Mayor Paul Tenhaken and Chief Toom of the Sioux Falls Police Department.
That's definitely concerning.
The arrest yesterday afternoon was a probable cause arrest, and because of that, there's not an affidavit on file for this particular investigation. I will be able to answer some very limited questions if anyone has any, either prior to the comments by the chief and the mayor or now.
You know, the proof is in the pudding, if you will.
Again, Chief Toombs, Sioux Falls Police Department, reiterating one fact is that, again, with the ongoing investigation in respect to those, won't be answering questions in regards to that investigation today. However, it is important to note a few things. Again, that he is no longer employed by the Sioux Falls Police Department, and that is clear. Again, I want to publicly thank DCI for their work and the Lincoln County State's Attorney's Office for the work they're doing right now. Again, top-notch investigation, and we cooperated every bit along the way
Tiffany.
as they went through their investigation. Again, in regards to these allegations with Mr. Jock, I first must say I'm upset and troubled, like many in our building, in our organization, and many in the community. While these are actions committed by an individual, they're a violation of trust and have done damage to this community and this department, and that can't be taken lightly. To whom much trust is given, much is expected, and these clearly aren't actions that reflect that trust. The actions of Mr. Jock and Mr. Schauer before have given our organization a black eye, and we can't hide from that. We cannot take that lightly at all. We will not let their actions overshadow the great work we have done in the community. We will redouble our efforts to be the outstanding law enforcement agency that I know we are. In law enforcement, we are constantly evaluating everything we do as far as policies and procedures and looking for ways to make them better. We will continue to evaluate our personnel, procedures, and policies and how we handle issues of this nature. As mentioned previously, we have safeguards in place to protect against this, but obviously we always need to be working for better solutions and evaluating how we do things to make sure we have everything in the right place to make sure we have as many protections as possible. The message is clear, is that law enforcement works. Law enforcement holds people accountable, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you choose to engage in these activities, you will have to pay the consequence. We will continue to hold people accountable for their actions regardless of their position, and there's no room for this within our organization or any organization within our community. Again, we do not take this lightly. We understand the impact this has on the community in this department, and we will always be working to build trust and improve our position and make sure that we have the trust of the community, and that's paramount importance to us. Thank you.
Accountability. I like it.
Good morning. I want to start by thanking Sioux Falls Police Department, Lincoln County State's Attorney's Office, Tom Woolman, our federal agency partners for the work they have done on this issue. Public safety is a team effort, and we have some of the best partners working on our behalf for the residents, so thank you to them. You know, I'm deeply troubled and quite honestly angry to learn that the allegations involving former Sioux Falls police officer Matthew Jock. The city has been and will continue to cooperate fully with DCI in order to allow justice to be done in this manner. Even as we are now carefully reviewing our internal policies and practices, I stand shoulder to shoulder with the honorable men and women of Sioux Falls PD who day in and day out, they protect our community, and they do it in an incredible manner. You know, humans are flawed, and to do the work that we have to do, we have to hire humans. And that causes an inevitable tension and an intersection between their status as an employee and their status as a flawed human. And so please know that we will not let the actions of the few tarnish the work of the many in this department. And my hope is that the community as a whole will feel this way as well.
Okay, so they're making it very clear. I'm not going to play that whole thing. But they're making it very clear that they are not tolerating this shit and that they are not going to treat this guy any different. So he was charged with attempted production of child porn and transfer of obscene materials to a minor. 28 years old. He's accused of attempting to employ an undercover... Hey, easy. An undercover FBI agent posing as a 12-year-old girl to engage in sexually explicit conduct between January 18th and February 4th. At the same time, he allegedly sent obscene materials to the undercover agent with his cell phone. And there he is, with the Medal of Valor in 2018. Because Schauer's case is a federal case, no jail mugshot was released. He faces up to 30 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine. His trial is set to start on April 19th. It's sickening to see these police officers.
So I remain confident in our justice system.
It's sickening to see these police officers charged with this type of crime. It's just disgusting. All right, let's see. We are going to pull up another story here. If I can find one. Just kidding. These dogs are crazy. Crazy. Okay, let's see what we got here. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, I am going to be going live, and we're going to be talking about the red trucks and the peppermints in the Summerwells case. And we'll get more into that tonight. But I do have an event up, and you guys should be able to go and click that reminder for that. These Okay, this is a quick, here's 2 stories. This is a quick video, but this is an update on the Ahmaud Arbery trial, the federal hate crime trial. We know they were convicted in Georgia of his murder, and then they were also convicted of a federal hate crime. But now the father and son, the McMichaels, are looking for an acquittal on the hate crime.
Convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery are now asking to be acquitted of their federal hate crime convictions. Attorneys for Gregory McMichael and his son Travis.
The heck?
2 of the men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery are now
a 9-second clip. Like, why bother? Kidding me? Did I? Oh, I didn't see that case. Benadryl. Heard anything about the officer in Tennessee that trains dogs, confiscating meth, letting people go and resealing the meth, high ranking, and he is running again? Yes, I did see that. Let's see if I can find that. Because I think it was on WJHL where I saw that. How do I get to just the local? News, local. Here we go. There's always just bad news in this town, in this county. Bitcoin farm. What? Dangers of fentanyl. I don't see that article on that cop. But I did see that. Oh, this right here? My God, these dogs. All right, let's see what this is about. Sevierville, and this is Tennessee again. Mother faces murder charges and neglect. Following death of 3-year-old child. Okay, this is sad. A Sevier County woman is facing first-degree murder charges in the death of her 3-year-old and neglect charges involving 4 minors. Brenda Dawn Behunin, 33, of Sevierville, was arrested Wednesday, March 9th without incident. An ambulance responded January 1st to the call of an unresponsive child at a home on Sims Road. Emergency responders took the 3-year-old to LeConte Medical Center. The child was transferred to Children's Hospital in Knoxville and died on January 11th. According to Sevier County Sheriff Ron Seals, an investigation by detectives and the Department of Children's Services contradicted the mother's initial report that the child was injured in a fall. A grand jury returned indictments February 28th, accusing Behunin of injuring her child. According to a Sevier County indictment, Behunin faces charges of first-degree murder, first-degree felony murder, 12 counts of especially aggravated child abuse of a child under the age of 8, 2 counts of child neglect of a child under the age of 8, and 1 count of child neglect of a child under the age of 18. She is being held in Sevier County Jail on $1 million bond. She gets $1 million bond, but these sex offenders get a $5,000 bond, like that Sherfy Jr. guy. He had thousands of images of children on his computer that he was uploading, and he got out on $5,000 bond. Why? I mean, I get it. He didn't kill anybody, but what? That's just crazy. I mean, I'm all for making an example of these people, but shit. Why such different, why such different bond amounts? I mean, child porn, you got to protect those kids. What the hell? Janelle, I'm so glad you got it fixed. Let's watch this.
Director says there are already rules against smoking at playgrounds in this new
Okay,
ordinance.
that's not about the neglect. How stupid. It's about vaping. But yeah, so, I mean, just always some good news coming out of East Tennessee, right? Let's see if we can find that cop. Ooh, they're getting a Chipotle. Previously missing Johnson County man located. Let's see what that's about. 1 day ago. Bobby Dean Holman. Let's see. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office announced that police located the man at the center of a search Thursday morning. The JCSO had requested the public's help in finding previously missing 51-year-old Bobby Dean Holman. According to a release, Holman was believed to be traveling in a blue Isuzu SUV with a broken passenger side window. The JCSO in the original release said he lives with medical conditions, so they don't even say where he was.
Okay! Oh, crocky!
Roly-poly, daddy's little Betty. Betty's gonna be a man someday.
My gosh, you guys need to calm down over there. Oh, here we go. I found it. So this is from the Washington County Sheriff's Department, which is right there by Hawkins, right next to it. We're going to watch this video. This cop here that you're going to see a video on in just a second, he was fired from the Tennessee Highway Patrol after an internal investigation showed that he had an order of protection against him, and he cut wires to security cameras and slashed tires. He was charged with violating the order of protection, and then again on February 25th, he was charged again with violating that protection order. And when the Washington County Sheriff's Department walked up to serve this dude, that's the video we're going to watch. Hang on. Roly-poly. That's Potato's favorite song. I hope she's listening. Potato, Incognito Potato loves that song. Okay, let's take a listen.
After order twice for violating an order of protection against him.
Yeah, Nicholas Collins was a state trooper in the Fall Branch District for the Tennessee Highway Patrol. That district covers 14 counties in northeast Tennessee. Last week, Collins was terminated after the agency placed him on leave in mid-February after orders of protection were placed against him. Yesterday, a Sullivan County, Tennessee judge denied his bond motion.
News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel is live in our Kingsport bureau with the video from the day he was served that order of protection. And Ansley, you also spoke with Collins' attorney.
Yes, I did. And here are those affidavits of complaint against Nicholas Collins, 2 of them being violations of orders of protection, 1 of them including domestic violence as well as vandalism.
What a winner.
I know why you're here.
Okay,
And
well,
I will accept them with no problem.
give me just a second. There's some procedures I got to follow here, okay?
The almost 20-minute video starts out with Nicholas Collins introducing himself,
I'm Trooper Collins, and I know exactly why you're here.
Okay.
as well as Trooper Blankenship and Sergeant Moore, who you see there in the video. As Washington County Lieutenant Mike Foster reads off the order of protection, things take a turn.
I don't need you to read it to me.
Listen, I'm not insulting your intelligence.
Yes, you are.
The law.
Ask you a question, I'll get to it.
The law says I have to read this stuff verbatim to
I know
you,
what the damn
okay?
law says. I am the law.
Well, okay.
The video continues to get heated, with several curse words and Collins becoming angry.
You wasted 30 minutes of my damn time, which is crazy.
I have to serve this to you the same way it's served to anybody.
The former trooper is being represented by attorney Joseph McMurray out of Kingsport.
Some of those things that he said are indefensible. I cannot, there's no words that I could put together that will make you think that, oh, well, that's okay. But at the end of the day, if you look at the statute, it's not a crime. It's not a crime to say I am the law. It's not a crime to say I know what the law is and slam your police cruiser.
McMurray says the video and affidavits don't provide all the context of the situation.
This is a small snapshot of Trooper Collins' life. I mean, this is a point that undoubtedly he's struggling with, and it's a personal struggle. I don't think he made the best decisions in how to react to that, but I've yet to see enough evidence that would convince me that those decisions that he did make were crimes.
While the video doesn't bring any charges against Collins, it is being used in court.
There's your copy. You don't have to sign it.
I don't need the damn copy.
Wow.
Do you have any questions?
What?
Collins is set to appear in court here in Kingsport at the end of the month on March the 31st at 9:30 in the morning. Live in downtown Kingsport, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Don't break my door, you fucking bat.
I just had a friend direct message me and say, how can you work in media? It's so negative.
Yeah, I am the law. You know what I got to say to him?
Roly-poly, daddy's little fatty. Betty's gonna be a man someday.
Oh, man. You can't make this shit up, you guys. You cannot. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this stream and these updates. Magen Fieramusca was more than needed. More than needed. But I hope that you guys will join me at 6 p.m. Eastern today. And we are going to be talking about the Summer Wells case. We're going to be discussing the red trucks and the peppermints. And I know you're not going to want to miss it, because red trucks and peppermints are very interesting topics. So, yeah, I mean, good thing that cop is off the streets. I mean, can you imagine what he acted like when he was a cop? Oh, I know. They're literally crazy. Okay, easy. I mean, she can fit her whole mouth on Bella's head. Awesome, Miss Alley Cat's claws. Here, let's take a bigger look at them. They're crazy as hell. Here's doggy cam for you guys. They're crazy. Whoever said their child was watching them. Yes, they are ready to go out. Hey, Mr. Positive. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. See you later, Lizzie Bones. You have a good day. Everybody enjoy your Friday, guys. These guys are going to go run around right now. So I hope everybody sees me tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about red trucks and peppermints. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. You guys have a great day, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye from Bella and Summer Lou.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard it about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.
Let me tell you something else, Ashley, before you interrupt me again.
You like to twirl.
You're bright-eyed, bushy tail. You wanna be?
Let me have a little fun, would you please?
You wanna be with me? You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the facts.
This is pretty much the worst video
I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. He does not know.
Buy new shoes.